Superman, aka the Man of Steel, has been through a rather interesting journey in the live action hemisphere over the past decade. So, when you go back to October 2019, before Corona, when it was announced that, hey, the CW is going to do a Superman show, I said, oh Lord, that sounds like a diarrhea nightmare. It sounds terrible. But here I am after watching the entire first season numerous times. I'm able to tell y'all this is one of my most favorite incarnations of the character ever put to screen. The dynamic with his family is rich and layered. The villains hit and the twist will shock you. Let's talk about the first season of my favorite comic book show on TV, Superman and Lois. Let this show be a lesson to everybody watching. It's very important not to formulate a complete opinion on any piece of media till you have the opportunity to view it in its entirety. Because Superman and Lois is the shit! And it shocked the hell out of me how much I loved this show. Now, it opens up with the traditional Superman flair, right? We have a exploding, political, self-deprecating, if that makes any sense. Is that a word? Does that make any sense? I think it makes sense. Krypton! We all know the story. His pod is being programmed to go to Earth because of the red sun. And when he's going through outer space, my man ends up in the best situation possible. He goes to a nice middle-aged couple with good hearts and clean records. He went to the best place possible. Because we all know if my man would have ended up a few miles up in Gotham, maybe in Bloodhaven, things would have turned out a little different. But my man ends up in a great scenario. And when you get into his teenage years, his child years in his opening monologue, I was very glad to see that they kept the traditional Jonathan Kent story of him passing away from an illness, a natural cause, right? We're not dealing with a Man of Steel situation where it's like, hold on, son. Now, I know you see this tornado around my ass, and I know you can save me, but I'm going to teach you a lesson. You can't save everybody. Let me die. I'm coming to meet you, Lord. No, we ain't got to traumatize nobody like that. The opening monologue also addressed his early relationship with Lois Lane, how they fell in love, him proposing to her, them kind of bonding their lives together. And that really quickly established she's a co-lead in this show. As much as this is a Kal-El story, this is a story about the world's greatest reporter. And I love how quickly they jumped on that aspect. Now, let's talk about the rest of episode 1 and the 3 things that really stood out to me about the overall episode. Because it was amazing! First off, you could very quickly understand that the writers were listening to all of the criticisms around the Superman character and live action, both DCEU and Arrowverse. They addressed all of that. Episode 1 and said, y'all have nothing to worry about with us for this season. There is no greater Arrowverse reference or connection. Episode 1. They kept this story contained. And as much as I love certain aspects of the Arrowverse, we all know there's other aspects of it that are bullshit. And they avoided that. And they also stayed clear of any Henry Cavill clashes with the tone of his Superman, where we have the Tyler Hoechlin incarnation that's wearing the Action Comics costume and saves this kid from a car, right? And his dialogue, his reaction to this moment made me go, oh shit, we got a hit.
There you go, friend.
Thanks. Cool costume.
Thanks. My mom made it for me.
Secondly, not only was the CGI and the cinematography really great with that car sequence, but it was amazing the entire first episode. No cap, I felt dirty watching this shit. I was sitting on my couch like, am I supposed to be watching this shit right now? I felt like I was watching Bang Bros or some shit. Like, hold on, wait. Is this legal? Did I get a copy of a show I was not supposed to be watching yet? Because this felt like a movie with the special effects and the cinematography. You go through so many locations, episode 1, and that gave it a cinematic flair, from him saving the nuclear plant with this beautiful shot of him holding this gigantic iceberg as it melts, him just trying to lift it and save millions of people. You have Smallville, you have Metropolis episode 1, and all of the glorious shots associated with that. It gave the premiere a movie feel. It was amazing. And lastly, since this show does focus on family, you run into an issue of saying, are they going to really embrace the family element of it early on? Or are they going to try to formulate the show to be a traditional hero drama early on, where it's about the superhero keeping a secret from the people he loves because he wants to protect them? But they don't do that. They do that maybe for the first 20 minutes. And then his children start to unravel the truth about who he really is. Hey, yo, there's a spaceship out there on a farm. What the fuck is going on? And I love how we got quickly to a point of managing his family's lives with them knowing this world-breaking secret. I loved how quickly the show established its lane. It didn't take it multiple seasons. It didn't take it numerous episodes. It did it in 30 minutes. As always, for Marcus Digital Reviews, for your boy, let's get into 4 members of the cast, right? Let's start with our star, Tyler Hoechlin. Now, I gotta personally pat myself on the back. I can't reach my back, but I'm patting myself because I've always enjoyed his version of the character. Even when the Supergirl writers had him cucking on that show, I was still like, okay, I see him as a traditional incarnation in the way he acts, in the way he treats people. And in this show, he really represents a beacon of hope by the way he treats everybody around him. It's the little Christopher Reeve inspired things that he does that reminds me so much of the 80s Superman, right? The silent, non-verbal communication, the head nods, the acknowledgements, the winks, all of those things were so great with his version of the character. You'll be hard-pressed not to find somebody who enjoyed the Erica Durance version of Lois Lane from Smallville, right? Smallville was the childhood, but Elizabeth Tulach, yo, she's my favorite version of Lois Lane, right? She plays this character who is the world's greatest reporter. But from jump, You feel like she's Superman's equal in a different part of the world, right? Yes, she doesn't have powers. Yes, bullets don't bounce off her, unfortunately. Yes, she doesn't fly around. But what she does in this story, episode by episode, is so impactful. And it's not just with the family, right? Where typical female love interests end up in the kitchen, taking care of the kids, staying out of the way. She contributes to this story where she's responsible for saving hundreds of lives through her reporting, through her investigating, through her being the world's greatest reporter. I love Elizabeth Tulach in this role. Jordan and Jonathan are the two children of Clark and Lois in this show. I really enjoyed the aspect of them being close to their character ages in real life. We're not dealing with a Tom Welling situation where he's running around, hey, I'm 15. No, you're not. You shouldn't be around these kids. No, you're not. They actually got people who are close to the age, and that benefited so many aspects of the story. When you look at some of the finer details of them, the writing is very impressive because you can look at Jordan and you see what Clark winded up being growing up, right? The awkward kid trying to find his place in society, growing with his powers, learning how to balance that with trying to have a normal human life, although he isn't human. And then when you go over to Jonathan, you see the life that Clark wanted at that age, right? Around the girls, playing sports, acceptance by just about everybody around him. You can see that. And even as the season went on, their characters got better. Now, one thing they did that was very impressive was they learned from mistakes. When you look at some other CW shows, Black Lightning, Jennifer was not learning. She was doing the same reckless shit she did season 1 and season 4. Crazy as cat shit. When you look at Stargirl, Courtney is not learning. She's doing the same dumb shit she did season 1, now in season 2. She's doing the same shit. But when you look at Superman and Lois, when Jordan's having problems with his heat vision, when things are going crazy with his hearing, he doesn't tell his dad at first, but then later on he learns the importance of telling him and actually informs him. That was so cool. Now, I don't want to go on for too long about the sons, but one more thing I want to point out. I do not agree with the decision to have Jordan play football. That is reckless. Yo, Sam Lane, Lois's father, was an asshole in this shit. But I agree with him. Having him play football was a bad move. This motherfucker is putting people in the shadow realm. The kid flew like 12 feet. God damn, yo. I don't know about you, but Jordan, need you to take this drug test, buddy. Come on over here with me, because that's tough. That's tough. My man ended up in the Marvel multiverse with how hard he got hit. God damn. And coming into this show, we were all very, very, very concerned about the CGI, about the special effects. And we've all remembered some of those god-awful fights from season 1 of Supergirl. I'm not trying to beat up on Supergirl. There's some aspects of the show that I dig. But holy shit, Them fights from season 1 were terrible. God awful. And the set pieces for Superman and Lois, we have the traditional battling in the sky, right? Going into outer space. We have the typical crater style punches, right? We have those things we come to expect from the character in his combat. But what really impressed me was the understanding of the character's destructive capabilities. He fought a Kryptonite X controlled soldier in a motel room. And it was one of my most favorite Superman fight scenes of all time. See, now let me explain to you what makes that so good is the fact that he understood his own destructive capabilities. Hey, if I punch this motherfucker hard enough, he might end up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So let me not do that. He understood that there's Lois in the room next to me. There's this other woman in the washroom. There's people in this hotel, in this roach motel, in this home motel. There's people around me. There's cars. Everybody walking around. I could easily kill 400, 500 people in a few seconds by going crazy. But he fought so controlled. It's like almost as if he was in this very carefully constructed box. And he had to find a way to put him down nicely. I really enjoyed that aspect of the battle. And other things that were so great with this season had to do with the villains, right? Bait and switches in the comic book genre can really sink or allow for your show / comic / movie to take flight. People don't like bait and switches when it's bad. Iron Man 3. But when it's Superman and Lois, we don't mind. Marcus, what bait and switch are you talking about? Episode 1 established the stranger was Lex Luthor from another world. And they gave you all different types of breadcrumbs to believe that. The computer referring to him as General Luthor. Him being bald, which I gotta thank the gods above. I wake up every morning thankful that I still got my fucking hairline. Head on sexy. But goddamn, he was bald, right? Then he had a grudge against Superman and a battle suit. So you believed that he was Lex from another Earth. But as the season plays out, he's actually John Henry Irons. Still from the comic books. That is glorious how they bait and switched you. But it was a character that people actually gravitated towards.
Like I said, I'm here to save the world. You see, Kal-El, you're not the Man of Steel. I am.
It's not Trevor Salchery, who's an actor. It's not no bullshit like that. It's actually somebody who we wanted to see in live action for a long time. So I ain't gonna count that Shaq shit. But the one thing I didn't really like was they didn't go into any detail about his actual suit. What is the suit made out of? Is it made from Dwarf Star alloy, vibranium, Wakanda forever? What is it made out of? Because this motherfucker's taking Superman punches dead on, like direct body shots. What is this suit made out of? They should have established that, because it's hard to believe he was 100% conscious taking these blows, especially when he turned evil. But speaking of turning evil, Morgan Edge is an original character later on in this show, whose name is Tal-Rho, the half brother of Superman. meaning that good old mama, good old Krypton mama was making babies in another part of the planet.
And got busy!
Prior to actually meeting Jor-El. And the twist of him being Tao-Ro was very welcome because I was afraid the show was going to go in this Lex Luthor, battlesuit, Morgan Edge political route. And it was going to be so boring to see those two villains for season 1 of a new show. But to make him Tao-Ro, to later on make him the Eradicator, right? Somebody that breaks apart his family and makes Superman realize his greatest fear beyond losing the ones he cares about is him losing control of himself. And the way that Tao-Ro mentally attacked Kal-El was such a nice twist. It did kind of remind me in bits and pieces of General Zod from his multiple incarnations, but it was still nice to see, especially with the way their battles looked. It was really nice for TV. 13 episodes is the length of the season. I repeat, 13 episodes is the length of the season. And for all the people out there who are tired of every comic book show having 22, 24 episodes, you have been saved. We have been saved from the demons that curse us because god damn, I am so exhausted of all these shows feeling a need to run forever. There's nothing wrong with having a condensed season, especially if it gives us a great story. And Superman and Lois has no filler episodes. Every single episode is important to the overall season. Superman and Lois, what does he get? What does it deserve? Superman and Lois gets a mother freaking A. God damn. Yo, it feels good to talk positively about something from beginning to end because Superman and Lois is that. Now, it's been weird, but it's been real. The next review on the channel should be Titans Season 3 before I go see The Eternals. Because I gotta go see that for the channel. But anyway, y'all know what it is. FTB! Fade to black, nigga.
When I pull up, she gon' look though. Look at he mad, ain't look bro. She bad as hell, but can't cook though. It don't matter, but you still watching me while I did it for the look though. 100 feet worth of drip, don't drown this fly shit, that's the look though. And look though, I'm the wave, you can look though. I'm something different, I don't think you get it, but I still did it for the look though. Look though, yeah, I did it for the